So great. Hello, Katja. Thank you so much for making this time. I know it's your last day here at the Ethical Fashion Show, and it's a little bit quiet today, isn't it? So you don't want to miss out on anything.
Yeah.
So no problem. If anybody comes along, just get out and So this is Katja from
Kiks,
which is based in Finland.
Yep.
And how long have you been running? Tell me a little bit about your brand.
Kiks was founded in 2003.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And actually it started out as a hobby and with a passion for recycling and upcycling. I started with post-consumer waste. I did accessories and clothes out of old used materials.
Yeah.
And eventually I have moved into industrial waste.
Yeah.
Like all the kind of stuff. I contact companies in Finland who have either produced fabrics or have production overseas, but they're stocked in Finland.
Yeah.
There's always something coming in, something that doesn't quite match their needs or their criteria. There might be like a flaw in the whole roll of fabric.
Right.
So the whole roll of fabric goes to waste because one line going across it.
Right. Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
Or the color was not what the customer ordered.
Yeah.
So I use this kind of material. I also use end-of-roll fabrics.
Yeah.
Cutting waste.
Yeah, from the actual manufacturing other garments.
Yeah. So these are my main material sources nowadays.
Yeah. So do you get that free?
To avoid,
do you have to pay for it?
No, I have to pay for it.
Yeah.
I have to pay for it, but of course,
even though they're going to throw it away, you have to pay for it.
Yeah. It's still cheaper than new fabric. So
yeah.
So in a way, like I'm saving in my material costs, but on the other hand, I'm making it more difficult for me to produce because I produce one piece at a time.
Yes, right.
So that kind of balances, or it doesn't even balance. It's actually much more time consuming. So it's more expensive to produce like this.
Yeah.
But to make it more risk-free for me, to make it more economical but also ecological, I don't do stocks at all.
Right.
And I have like a continuous collection. I don't have seasons.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good. So you're a designer by background. You're the designer?
Yeah, I'm the designer, and actually my I have various educations, but I wasn't trained in fashion. Yeah, I learned by doing.
Yeah, it's more your
start
of the hobby, you say.
Yeah, I'm like an all-round guy in my company. Do everything from making patterns, designing, marketing, sewing.
Yeah.
We have like one dressmaker.
Okay. So everything's in-house.
Yeah.
So it's a very small production then.
Yeah. It is.
And who actually buys your products? Do you have a consumer profile?
It's like we do unisex products and we do so both men and women.
Yeah.
But like majority of the customers are women, probably like 70-30.
Yeah.
Percentages. The age varies a lot. It's more about the values and the way of life than any particular age group.
Yeah. So really your products are sort of outdoor
kind of, it's like I kind of want to design jackets that you can wear when you go hiking, when you go to the forest, when you go biking, when you go clubbing, like you can wear the same jacket.
Right.
Wherever, so that it's like it looks urban. Yeah. But it's also functional enough to be used.
Yeah. So it's got style. but it's got grit
Yeah.
as well. And so where do
And
you
also
actually-
kind of timeless. You know, it has to have some distinctive features
yeah.
that also make it timeless.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's always interesting.
Yeah. So you're here at the Ethical Fashion Show to be able to find some more retailers and
Yeah.
stockists. With your small production, is that you? Are you thinking of moving along to bigger production setup if you do find? Because how can you supply to these big companies?
I'm more kind of I'm more looking for like small boutiques.
Yeah.
And then like, retail stores.
And
I mean,
specialized.
of course I'm not saying no
Yeah.
to any suggestions.
Yeah, yeah.
But like my focus is on smaller boutiques.
Yeah.
We are not even prepared for like huge production.
Right. Yeah. Okay, great.
But we have on the other hand, we have the know-how of the whole thing from start to finish.
Yeah.
So that's an advantage.
So you were saying that it started as a passion. So can you just kind of cover, how this ethical thing came about and what is this passion? How was this born? And is this a message that you're trying to relate to your consumers, or are you just looking to sell your product created ethically?
No, definitely not. It's like for me, it's a way of life, and it's that was like what's the word?
Impetus?
Well, the whole basis
Yeah.
of starting a label
Yeah.
was to start an eco-fashion label.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't do it any other way.
So how do you tell that story to your customers?
It's kind of depends because in my target group, it's already kind of it's a given in a way. It's hard to explain.
Are you saying that they kind of find you?
Yeah, they often find me, and I don't want to like I want to go. Even though I say that that's the basis, but it's also like for me it's a given that I do everything as sustainable as I can, and I don't compromise on that like ever. But on the other hand, I don't want the product to look like it's recycled or upcycled. Like it doesn't in my aesthetics. I don't want it to show.
Yeah.
So basically, I trust on the customer quite a lot to see the story behind it. I mean, of course, I tell it on my website. I tell it to whoever listens, but I don't want it to like. I don't want to kind of greenwash in a way. I mean, like. I find it hard to explain in English.
I think a lot of the bands I have spoken to kind of say they don't want to appear to be so morally on a high ground.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, I find it a little bit repulsive when you go and shout out, that you're like morally above above the others.
Yeah.
Excuse me, do you espresso?
Huh?
Espresso.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm all right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I think that is like the fine balance, isn't it?
So it's a very fine line when you do the kind of when it gets annoying and when it gets like kind of patronizing.
Yes, yeah. I think that's what we're seeing. That's the dilemma that the ethical fashion brand seems to have.
Yeah, because I've been doing this for like 14 years, so I was there way before like many of the brands nowadays. But how to say that out loud without sounding like
self-righteous? Yeah, I think what we're seeing in our research, I don't know if I told you, but we've interviewed like 2,000 people online, just asking about their engagement on ethical fashion. And what they're saying is that they really want to know who's ethical.
Yeah.
They really want to know, why these brands are ethical. You know, they don't even know the names of the brands that are ethical, so they can't actually act out their convictions. Now you've been able to act out your conviction by actually producing a product like this and selling it. So you're appeasing your conscience in a way. You're living according to your conscience, but then there are consumers out there who feel like
you're
they have
absolutely
no
right.
alternative.
You know, I'm like too close to this subject to actually see from the outside, like how, for example, I've seen it here. In the ethical fashion show, people come and ask me like, what does this have to do with sustainability? Because it doesn't look like it's upcycled. It doesn't really look like. And when I tell that it's actually made of leftover materials and it's made in Finland in our own studio, they are like really blown.
Our research is really saying that 25% of the population, you know, they've taken some kind of action when they've seen some sort of injustice or some kind of accident or mishap in the fashion industry, and the action that they've taken is just to boycott. You know, because they don't know what else to do. And a lot of people do feel very guilty about shopping in the shops that they shop at. But they feel like they have no other alternative. You know, so.
But I find it really hard to announce it, like to bring it to people's knowledge without sounding too
superior. I think that is the tricky part, isn't it? But then I can completely understand. But one of the products that we're creating is a marketing campaign. So this is why we're doing these interviews, so we can understand what the need is. What would you say is your need as a brand that wants to sell, and what is the drawback for you to do that?
Well, in my case, it's definitely like the lack of labor, like in my company.
Lack of labor.
I mean, like, because I have too many tasks in my company. That's my problem. So when you have that situation, marketing is always comes last. It has to come last, because like if you get an order, you deliver, you know. So marketing is always last. So that's my problem. But it doesn't really have to do with sustainability. It has to do with the size of my company. Size of my production.
So do you find though that there is also an urgency to sell your products? I mean, you don't want to have items that are just hanging around that you haven't sold.
Actually, I avoid stocks. You know, I do everything, like even my online shops, they're like made to order.
Right.
It doesn't actually say that it's made to order, but there's like imaginary stock in a way. You know what I mean? Like, and the delivery times are a bit longer than normal. And the consumers or the customers are aware of that the delivery times are a bit longer, and they're fine with that. And you can do that because if you buy a €300 jacket, like you don't mind waiting for 2 weeks.
But say that you've been doing this for like many years. So what's your vision for the next 5 years for your brand?
Well, I would like to employ more. And kind of be. Well, I am already involved in my local community. People, they might be a product with a charity campaign around it, and stuff like this. But also I like sustainability to me is more than like ecological and ethical way of living. It's also like it has like tolerance, kinds of like good values that I think that are good values. So I try to incorporate those values, for example, by using what's the word, like by showing diversity in my models. You know, for example, and the unisex thinking. That's also like, because in Finland, where I come from, the crowd is very homogeneous, you know, like traditionally. So I show like different races, different colors. I want to show all of that, like, and kind of
in your marketing.
My marketing, and kind of combine all these good values together.
Yeah. So in terms of like the next 5 years, that's where you want to head towards. So where do you
that's what I'm doing already, but I want to do more of that.
Yeah.
Of course, I want more visibility, especially in Europe.
Yeah.
And more self, of course.
Yeah. And
because
so,
I want to do good, so being able to employ, it's actually it's also a problem. Like business-wise, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Because I cannot allow myself any compromise.
Yeah. As I mentioned, as a thank you for taking part in this interview, we'll send you a mini report.
Oh yeah.
So it'll be just the interviews that we've done here.